Hello everyone, this is our video presentation where we'll be explaining our solution using traditional models. Luke will dive into our event table and Raul will guide you through the ER diagram. I'll be presenting the context and the level 0 diagram. And finally, Alex will take you through the level 1 data flow diagram and the pseudocode.
Hey there, I'm Luke from Team Lark. Today, I'll be outlining our event table, which has several sections to it. As you may remember, our app will have a few different implementations. As this pertains to our event tables, we will have local apps and a web app. They should closely resemble each other in functionality, but there are by nature a few events that are specific to one or the other. As pertaining to users, our tables are organized from least to most permission. That means each subsequent user tier will be able to perform its own listed events, as well as previous tables events. User events are generally triggered by button presses. Our most basic event table is the reader table. Most of these events may be triggered with or without an account. Readers may initiate events to browse the database, search the database, and filter their search. Graphs may be made using search results. Data is filtered but not changed, and the destination is the display on the user's machine. Our program has a feature that I've dubbed the jargon lists. These are lists of terminology for specific fields of interest, intended to allow users greater understanding of item descriptions. Relevant jargon lists are linked to item records. Readers may initiate an event to view these lists. Readers may initiate account action events, such as creating a user account, signing in, and changing user settings. These events affect the user database. Readers viewing the database through the web app may submit a request for the curator to loan or donate an item in the collection. The data is created and sent to the item request log. Finally, readers may trigger events to generate a quick item report or a full item report. This data is downloaded to the user's machine. As the name implies, editor events have more to do with creating and changing data. Editors may add, edit, duplicate, or delete item records, which are entries in the item collection database. Editors may download item records from the web app to their local machine for easier editing. Since the collection features a variety of items, item record templates will be a useful tool to quickly generate relevant data fields for an item record. Editors may create, edit, or delete templates. Editors may, of course, create new item records via templates. Editors may create, edit, and delete jargon lists. Editors may manually sync the cloud's database with their local database. Editors may also view a changelog that reports changes to item record data. In addition to reader and editor events, administrators have the ability to perform global searches for a provided string and may also choose to replace all instances of that string with a second string provided by the admin. The admin may view and manage user accounts, including changing individual user permissions or deleting users. The admin may also view requests for items to be loaned or donated. There are a few system events. The first two have to do with automatic cloud syncs. The first performs a cloud sync at a set period of time. This sync must be toggled on in user settings. The second performs a cloud sync when the local app is closed. Again, this must be toggled on in settings. The system also records changes to the database in a changelog for editors and admins to view.
Hello, my name is Wood from Group 1 and I'm a team member, and this is our ER diagram. The rectangles are entities and the ovals are attributes of the project. Every entity is like a category in the museum collection. We have video, audio recordings, artifacts, ephemera, iconic sculptures, technical manuals or documents, and inventory. Artifacts have like origin, name, artifact ID, description, condition, as well as having a login. So for the owner to be able to log in and see their collection as username, password, and email. And also having inventory, item ID, and The owner wants to know the location of every artifact plus item name and video or audio recordings is recording ID, title. Books and magazines is publication ID, title, author, publication date, and technical manuals or documents, document ID, title, author, and date published. And iconic sculptures, name, sculpture ID, artist, or year created. And Informer is Informer ID and the type. And the ER diagram shows the whole relationship in the system of the Small Museum collection. And thank you.
Hello, this is Karen Villablanca, and this is the context diagram of our collection management system, which serves as the main process or the core system. Within this diagram are three entities that interact with the core system to perform different functions and roles. The curator entity supplies and stores content to the system by attaching images, multimedia files, or records. In return, the system provides the curator with essential reports, allowing them to manage and monitor the content effectively. The web app entity serves as an interface for end users and other entities. It forwards search queries, access requests, and viewing preferences to the system, enabling users to interact with the system seamlessly. The external data source entity supplements the core system by providing additional information. This data enhances the richness of the collection. And here's our level 0 data flow diagram with its key interactions. In this diagram, the curator entity sends a collection data flow to the managed database process. This represents the curator providing collection-related data to be managed in the database. It could include metadata and other information about collection items. The curator entity also sends an images and multimedia files data flow directly to the database data store. This indicates that the user or curator is uploading images and multimedia files which are stored in a database. These files are associated with the collection items. The database data store sends data to the provide collection data process, which means that the database is a source of collection data that will be made available to the users. The database data store sends a view collection data flow to the web app entity. This flow implies that the web app accesses collection data from the database to serve it to the public users. Next, the web app entity sends a data flow to the access collection information process, which means users, including the public, use the web app to access collection information. The web app entity also sends a generate report data flow to the generate quick reports process, which means that curators can request the generation of quick reports through the web app. The generate quick reports process then sends item reports data flows to the curator entity. This flow represents the generated reports being provided to the curator. The curator then can review and manage these reports. The curator entity also sends a collection parameters data flow to the generate quick reports process. And the external data source entity sends an additional information data flow to the managed database process, which indicates that additional information and data to be managed in the database from the external source.
Hello, my name is Alexander Ochitorena. I'm the project manager for the group LARC, and here's our level 1 DFD. I chose the web app, which will have the public user login. If it has a login error, we'll direct them back to the user login and have them try again. In the user interface, once they log in, they'll have the search, which will lead to the artifacts, books, and videos that will come from the data storage. On the other side of the user interface, they'll have the review, where they can put a review input. If it's an invalid review, it will send them back to the review. Otherwise, the valid input will get stored in the data storage. Next, we have our pseudocode for the level 1 DFD. We'll have the user login function. The input will be the user's email and password. Validate the information is correct. Otherwise, a while loop as the information is incorrect, show wrong information, and have them log in again. The search function will have an input of whatever the user search is. This will look through the database to find the results, then display the artifacts, books, and results that it found. Next, we'll have the user review function. We'll have the input a review of the website. It will validate the review is valid. While the review is not valid, it will redirect back to the review page, show error, review invalid. Otherwise, we'll store into the database.